It's mock draft season and things are starting to get a little wacky. And I've put a couple videos out there where I've talked about the possibility of the Detroit Lions trading back from the number 6 pick. We've also talked a little bit about trading up and what that would look like. And here I have a mock draft from Fansided, which is a Sports Illustrated website, and they have the Detroit Lions trading. And I think you are going to love the trade. And it's very similar to one of the trades that I outlined in a video, really, I think in the last week or so. So if you haven't checked out that video, go back and check that one out. That was my talk about trading back and trading forward. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this. And they start off, of course, with the first trade. And have you ever seen a mock draft season where it was so unanimously decided that the Bears weren't going to pick at number 1, or the number 1 team wasn't going to pick? So they have CJ Stroud actually going first. The Raiders trading up for it by giving away picks 7, 38, a 2024 first, and a 2024 second. That is a big haul for the Bears, and they need a big haul because going at number 7 would put them out of range for a franchise-changing, elite-level athlete, Will Anderson, one of those guys that they could take. It would put them too far back. Number 2, they have Anthony Richardson going to the Texans. I guess they think that the Texans are going to go Texan and do something dumb. Sorry, I just hit my camera on accident. But I guess they think the Texans are going to Texan. They have Will Anderson going to the Cardinals at 3. This one makes sense. Colts are going Levis. Honest to goodness, Levis and his traits completely make sense for what the Colts like to have. They are all about intangibles and measurables, more measurables. And that's what it is. Then you have Jalen Carter to the Seahawks. So we have quarterbacks that are gone. Bryce Young's still available, which is crazy. And that's why they have the Carolina Panthers trading up. So in this, we would get pick 9 and pick 61 from the Carolina Panthers. Pick 9 and pick 61. And you're like, is that worth it? Yes, it's worth it because unless we wanted to pick quarterback here, there's not a big difference between who I think we'd take at 6 and who we'd take at 9. They would get pick 6. So let's see who's available. All right, Chicago Bears with the 7th pick go offensive tackle. They need to protect Justin Fields. That makes sense. Falcons go with Tyree Wilson. So who does that leave for the Detroit Lions to pick at number 9? And the answer is Christian Gonzalez. Now, I don't actually fully agree with this. I would take at this point, I haven't seen them test. I have seen them play. I would take Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois. That's where I would go with this pick, but they're both available. And that's why, and we'll go back to this in just a second. We'll go back to this mock in just a second. That's why we have to ask the question, could we trade back? And if one of the big 3 quarterbacks, or even if someone's in love with Richardson, if one of those quarterbacks is still on the board, we need to take phone calls. If we're not going to take a quarterback, we should, and everybody with every pick takes phone calls. Like that's how it goes. We have seen Brad Holmes get a little excited. I think when he picked Sewell and Hutch, I don't think he was really taking phone calls because he loved those guys. But with the number 6 pick, if you don't have a guy that you're obsessed with, take the phone call. And if you're obsessed with a guy that very likely will be there a pick later or 3 picks later, take the phone call. Like, take it. And if they have a similar grade on Gonzalez and Witherspoon, take the call. And that's what they've decided they're going to do with 6, because at 9, there's a great chance one of them will still be available. There's a great chance that one of them will still be available. Now, if you have a similar grade on Gonzalez, Witherspoon, and Porter Jr. out of Penn State, then you definitely take the phone call from the Carolina Panthers and you make that trade because you feel like you're going to be in a good spot. So this is just kind of what I'm processing through. This is what I'm processing through, and I don't understand why everybody is so against trading back. We used to be team trade back. Like, that's what we were. Everybody was like, we need to trade back. We need to trade back. We need to trade back. So here's what I'm saying in this mock draft. There are people that are going to rise, and there are people that are going to fall, rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall over the next 2 months before the draft. They're 2.5 months. They're going to rise and fall like crazy. And one person that we're already seeing falling, check this out, because in early mock drafts, there's a guy that a lot of us had picked to the Lions, and it is Myles Murphy, defensive end, Clemson. Guess what? He's still there. He's still there. So why would we not do this trade back? Because I think so many of us realize and so many of us forget that we have pick 18. We have pick 18. So if we can add even more resources, how good is that? We have enough cap room to make some moves, re-sign some of our players and things like that. But then there's other players that I think about, like Evan Brown, guard, probably backup. I know he's a center. I don't know why I said guard, because he played guard almost all year. That's why I said guard. But you have a guy like that, it's like you're going to have to pay him a little bit of money. Do you want to? Or do you want to have more picks so that you can get your next guard of the future with that pick? You want to build through the draft. And building through the draft doesn't mean paying $4 or $5 million for backups in the free agent market. So if we get pick 61, are you telling me pick 61, we can't find a starting caliber guard in 2 years? I think we darn well better be able to. And you don't lose the player you were going to pick at 6. The trade back makes sense when you have a guy like Brad Holmes that has proven that he knows how to draft players at any round. You have to do the trade back option because you want to give him the most bullets in his gun. You want to give him the most shots. And here's the thing, he's already accurate. So he might only need 1 bullet. But if you give him, instead of giving him 7, if you give him 11 bullets, he's going to hit that target more often. And you're going to have more cap-friendly salaries because they're players that were drafted instead of players that were re-signed. And you're going to have a younger team. You need to re-sign certain players, but it can't just be, oh, we were 9-8 last year, re-sign everybody. That it doesn't work like that, because we were 9-8. We were 3-13-1 the year before. So those players must have been playing better. People are going to demand more money. And eventually they price themselves out of what you can do. So you need to continue to fill in through the draft. That's why I'm on team trade back right now. I'm on team trade back. Unless there's a guy that you know you can't get at 9 that you can get at 6, and you feel like he is the difference maker for your defense, or you feel like he will be the future of your franchise at quarterback or wide receiver or the future left tackle, and you want to trade Decker for more capital. I hate getting into those weeds. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. Team trade back. Let me know what your thoughts are. While you're letting me know what your thoughts are, please consider subscribing to the channel. Consider becoming a member of the channel. We would love to have that, and those are now live. But we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.